Female political leaders in Germany, New Zealand, and elsewhere have received a lot of positive media coverage for their effective pandemic responses. But in many parts of the world, female politicians and gender equality advocates worry that the pandemic's profound political and socioeconomic effects may halt or even reverse past gains in women's political participation and representation. In countries like Lebanon, Burkina Faso, and Mexico, many women are experiencing a decrease in economic security and an increase in unpaid domestic work, which may make it harder for them to run for political office or engage in politics in other ways. In addition, the disruptions in formal political processes, the switch to online voter mobilization and campaigning, and the pattern of authoritarian power consolidation that we've seen in a number of countries may all exacerbate existing patterns of political exclusion. Now, the global picture is definitely not all negative. Many women's rights activists have seen the emergence of much stronger and new feminist solidarity networks over the course of the pandemic. And there's some emerging evidence that some women may in fact be motivated to run for political office to address the unfolding social and economic crisis, and that female politicians may perhaps be able to draw on women's crucial role as first responders and activists and caregivers during the crisis to push for a different and more inclusionary and equitable vision of politics in collaboration with civil society.
To reinforce women's political participation during and after the pandemic, interventions must reflect the gendered impacts on political life of the crisis, which requires better data. Citizen and international election observers are well placed to collect data on the ways stay-at-home orders, increases in caregiving duties, and other issues impact women voters and candidates. Observers must also prioritize data collection on the rates and effects of gender disinformation and online violence against women. Support for female candidates should include a greater focus on bridging the digital divide and building skills to help them safely use online platforms to campaign. Given the increase in gender-based violence and overall insecurity, specific measures are needed to ensure women's safety in elections. These efforts need to better document and address the implications of massive increases in domestic violence on women's political participation. The current moment actually offers a very unique opportunity to leverage the visible relationship between gendered roles in society and women's political participation to advance electoral reforms that address issues historically viewed as irrelevant to electoral integrity, such as subsidized childcare for female candidates. Moving beyond elections, there needs to be ongoing support for collaboration between elected feminists and those in civil society to ensure the adoption and implementation of progressive policies that can mitigate the intergenerational impacts of COVID on gender equality.